my Space and Energy. I'm Angela and this is Lunar Ray. I am so happy you're here because today I'm going to be going over how I like to work with herbs. This particular video was requested multiple times now. The first time I tried to make this video, my camera completely died on me and I had to mail it back to Canon to be fixed. It was awful. So I'm going to try to do this video again since it was requested again, and of course I'm outside and it's cicada season, so I've got a musical cicada sounds behind me. I hope it's not too distracting. But yeah, let's just get right into how I like to use my herbs. So I think there's like a plethora of ways to work with herbs, right? You've got just so many different things that you can do with them. There's just particular things that particular ways that I am comfortable with using herbs, and that's really what I'm going to go over with you. These are not the end-all be-all ways of how to use herbs. It's just what I like to do. So you can work with herbs dry. Just use the herbs in a dry form. You can work with them infused in oils. I like to do that. And you can also boil herbs and work with them that way. And so what I have here is just teas. I like to work with herbs just making a tea with them. So, I mean, you have to be careful. You can't just like go to any store and buy herbs and make a tea out of them. You have to be mindful and make sure that they are allowed to be consumed when you're buying them and plan on making a tea out of them. And so this is Buddha teas. I don't know if you can see. Yeah, there you are. Buddha teas. Anyway, this one is rose hips. You can't really see it on the little packaging there. Hold on. There you are. There, I like to work with these. Rose hip teas. I actually have a few of these. I have rose hips, raspberry leaf, cherry tree bark. I really, really like working with their teas. I think their teas are really great. They've got a ton of different kinds. I also love working with my sage. Love working or drinking sage tea. And then I've got my blue lotus tea as well. And I really like drinking this too. There are so many things out there that you can look up. I'm sure there's a ton of videos on what people think about drinking blue lotus leaf tea. Anyway, so this one I got on Amazon. I made sure it was consumable, and I just it was a big bag. I threw it in a jar. But anyway, I love to boil my teas, and I like to mix them up, just make it very magical, if you know what I mean. Whatever I'm trying to call in for the day, I will grab that type of tea and I will just blend it all together. Absolutely love doing that. So that is one particular way to boil your tea, and you can use it. And another thing you can do is people like to, when you take baths, if you're a type of person that likes to take like spiritual baths, you can actually get like a cheesecloth, put your tea inside that cheesecloth, close it off, and actually infuse your entire body with that tea. If that's something you're into doing, that I've actually heard of. I've never really done that, but it sounds really interesting. I wouldn't mind trying it. Another way to work with herbs is with candles. Now, I know I've got quite a few videos on candles. So this is a rolled candle. You can kind of see the herbs on the outside there. And I've got lots of videos where I am rolling up candles, putting oils, and putting dry herbs on them. So this is one way that I like to use my herbs. I use particular herbs depending on, so this is a purple candle, so I would use, intuition herbs to go with a purple candle, if that's what I'm trying to call in. So this is one way. Another way that I know I've shown in my video as well is I just like to make my own candles. This particular candle I made for during I think it was a Gemini new moon. I set like a whole intention on just communication and connecting with spirit. I think I did this whole thing during that new moon, and that's when I made this candle. And you can kind of see the herbs all at the bottom there. So that's what this particular candle's for. And then I had this sitting in a potted plant and I pulled it out just for this video. This is a Candle Magic jar, a itty bitty little baby jar that I don't even remember when I did this. I do remember it, but I don't remember when. But this is candle jar magic, right? So I have my herbs in here. I don't know if you can tell. My herbs are at the bottom. You can kind of see my candles, my little birthday candles that I used. And then my petition is hanging out over there. So that's another way of working with candles and herbs. Kind of getting just my intentions out there. I'm not sure when I even did this. I just know it's been sitting in my potted plant for a while, and I'm going to put it back. I just wanted to bring it out just to show you guys other ways to work with herbs and candles. So, and I've got a ton of candle videos. If you haven't seen them, check them out. They're actually my more popular videos on my channel. So that's one way to work with dry herbs. Another way that I love working with dry herbs is using a charcoal disc. I love using charcoal discs. I really highly recommend that you get into, if you're not already doing that, that's a really great way of working with herbs. And so I've got my little, I just bought this. I don't even know where I bought this. I think at a grocery store or something. I thought it was perfect. The perfect little cauldron, really, that I use. And so inside of here I have, and these are little tongs. I don't know where I got them. Probably at the grocery store too. This is a little charcoal disc, if you can see it, and let me turn it too. So where you see that groove inside, on the one side of my charcoal disc, that's the side where the herbs you'll put on top of, and they will smoke. Okay, so all you do is you take a lighter. Use your tongs. I like to use tongs. I see people not use tongs all the time. I always use tongs though. Make sure they're heat, resistant tongs. And just light your charcoal disc. And you should start to hear it hiss off at you, like kind of get really, you can even see it working. Sometimes it takes some time. Depending. Sometimes you get a good batch and sometimes you get a bad batch. You hear it spitting out at you now. And you can, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but it starts to really spark off. Lots of little sparks. Lets you know that it's working. Anyway, and so now this is going to be like a cooktop. And I put it in my little my little cauldron. So it's going to hang out in there. I let it get nice and hot. Give it a second for the whole thing to kind of really get nice and hot for my herbs. And I have all kinds of dry herbs. While that's heating up for me, I'm going to show you all my dry herbs. Well, hold on. I'll do that one last. So I love, I've got a pretty good selection of herbs in my house. So what I like to do is, look up the properties of my herbs and create ready-made batches of herbs that are already holding the intention that I'm looking for. Like for instance, this is my batch of abundance herbs. I've already created this. I know exactly what's in here because I write everything down, and this is my abundance herbs. Then I have my little healing herbs, my little collection of herbs that I know are specific for healing. I've got my wish herbs. These are like good luck wishing herbs. Got protection herbs. And this is just a few of them. I can't bring them all out here. But anyway, one that I just made that I'm like really excited about is my house blend herbs. Now I got this idea because I went to my favorite little witchy shop that has a ton of herbs. And they had a house blend that they were selling. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. What's in it? And they're like, oh, it's, they gave me a quick rundown of the things that are in it. And I bought it, took it home, and I made it my own. I added a few things to it that I absolutely love. I put a couple stones in here, little chip stones, and some oils to really call in kind of energy that I was looking to call in. I want to make this more like a house blessing blend, is basically what I want it to be. But I want it to be kind of like a catch-all, like a It's protective. It's blessing. It's a beautiful blend to just call in sweet energy. I just absolutely love it. So anyway, I'm going to use that to put on my disc. And this is what I do. Depending on what I'm calling in during a particular moon phase or whatever I'm doing at a particular time, I will grab the corresponding dry herbs and I will sprinkle them onto a charcoal disc like this. Just like this. Yeah, good, you can see, right? And it brings that beautiful smoke. Those oils that I put on it, I mean, it really tops it off. It really creates a nice scent. It's beautiful. I got this gorgeous little jar at a thrift store. I don't even think I paid $5 for it. It's really nice, right? I really love it. Anyway, so I've got this beautiful smoke going. It's cleansing my space. I know there's sage in here. There's Palo Santo in here. It's beautiful. It's blessing. Anyway, so what I like to do when I've got this smoke going is grab tools. So I have like a little stone here. You can clear your stones with smoke. I love to do that. But anything, whatever I'm working with, say, perfect. Say I've got a ring and I'm like, I want to bless my ring. I want to call in, if this is like a love powder, I want to call in all these loving energy to this, to this ring. I would get that love powder and bless this ring. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that you can do with your smoke besides just cleansing your space. You can actually use it to bless your tools, create certain intentions in your tools. And speaking of that, I still have my love powder. I made a love candle on my channel probably around February. And so I keep it inside this, again, I got it at a thrift store, a little apple glass, because apples and love and you know what I mean. Anyway, pour that on your little charcoal disc. I love how everything has its own little scent. That is just so warm and embracing. I love that scent. But anyway, make your powders, keep them, and then you can keep using them to do different things, incorporate different, just shift the energy in your space even. You don't necessarily have to bless anything, bless your tools. You can do that, but you can even use it just to shift your space. I keep everything. I'm going to put this to the side. I keep absolutely everything. I've got like a Halloween blend. I kind of created it for crossing the veil during Halloween. This is my Samhain blend. Anyway, I keep everything. Another blend that I absolutely love I talk about this all the time. I'm in Soul Shift, and my teacher has us journey once a month. It's kind of like a meditative space and energy. Anyway, she has this Elder Council blend, and it's supposed to help you kind of drop in and connect with your guides. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, you can really create a particular blend for every intention you have based on the herbs that you are inviting into that blend that you have. So you have so much space and energy to do whatever you want and invite whatever kind of energy you want into your life. All right? So staying on that topic of powders, because this is actually very powdery. This is, I don't know if you can see it. Maybe you probably can't see it. But this is super powdery. This has smells really good too. This has been really like pulverized. So this is one thing I love to do. I do this all the time. I like to grab my sage and my Palo Santo. You can get Palo Santo shaved, Palo Santo like shavings. And I get my sage and I get my mortar and pestle and I like pulverize. I pulverize my sage and my Palo Santo down to like powder form. And then I can use that to pour that powder onto my charcoal disc, and that's very clearing. I love to clear the space and invite God's loving energy. I do that all the time. Usually with a new moon, honestly, is when I do that. And then the other thing I absolutely love to do, now this is ready-made incense cones. This is a ready-made incense cone. I don't know if you're familiar with incense cones, but if you're not, they are fantastic. Sorry, that was loud. Let me show you how to work with an incense cone. I know I've used them on my channel, I just haven't like talked about them. Anyway, so this is an incense cone. This is just a little plate that I'm going to put it on. And what you do is you just light it just like you would incense, right? This incense cones are just powdered down herbs that will last longer than putting them onto a charcoal disc. Like this is already like dying down, right? Because it's just a couple herbs on it. But this is not going to die down anytime soon. And if you've ever worked with Palo Santo, you already know, like, that Palo Santo stick smells amazing but doesn't last really long. If you use the shavings of a Palo Santo stick instead of the stick itself, and I have a certain powder that catches fire, so that, you know, I don't know how to explain this. I probably have to do a whole video on it now, thinking about it. But anyway, I know how to make incense cones. And I could show you in another video how to do that, but I love it because a Palo Santo incense cone will last much, much longer than a Palo Santo stick, is my bottom line. And I like to do it with Palo Santo shavings and sage, white sage, but I do it with all kinds of herbs. I don't just limit myself to that. I've made all kinds of incense cones. There's a particular way of doing it to make sure that it lights up and lasts, and I can do a video on that. This particular one is sandalwood. I bought this from sagegoddess.com. It smells super amazing. I really love it. And you know what else I've done? Because this is a good batch. In the past, I've bought bad batches of incense cones, and I had to like throw them on a charcoal just to make sure they just stayed lit. So you got to be careful. That's why I started making my own, because I was like, I'm sick of buying bad batches of stuff. You know, that's why I really like to just do my own thing. Anyway. So that's an incense cone, and I think I will just do another video on how I make them because they're actually super easy. You just gotta be patient. Alright, I'm sorry, I had to change the camera direction. The lighting is just not really working with me. So, I was gonna say how I also like to work with bay leaves. So I got these at my local grocery store. And I think I paid $2 or $3 for them. I absolutely love them because they come in like really nice big size, nice and whole is what I need them, because what I like to do is I like to write my wishes on here. I think I've done this in a video before, where I was doing a new moon ritual and I was writing my wishes and intentions on my bay leaf and burning them. And so I don't think you can see, but on this particular bay leaf I wrote abundance and filling cups where filling is needed for my YouTube viewer, for you. And so I'm just going to light this on fire, and this is what I like to do during, like I said, like a new moon or something like that. I'm gonna have to put my I'm gonna have to put this down. I'm sad I had to change directions because it's harder now without my table in front of me. That's okay though. So I just light this on fire, and this kind of releases that intention into the universe. There it goes. And I like to have my cauldron like really close nearby. You know what I want? Oh, no, that's okay. I think it's better to use tongs so you can get super close to what you're trying to do. There you go. And just drop it into your cauldron and let that intention rise into the atmosphere. And I'm just wishing you abundance where abundance is needed. And that's it. So that's what I like to do when I work with my bay leaves. And I've done that just to, not just release my wishes, but even when I just need to release something that's bothering me, I have written it down on a bay leaf and burned it and let it go. Like I don't want to think about this anymore. I just want to be done with it. I don't want it to be like an intrusive thought that I can't stop fixating on. I want to be done. I've done that, and honestly, something about watching it burn and go away really worked for me. So that's also an option when you're doing your bay leaf magic. So I think that's it for my dry herbs. But one thing I do want to mention before I put my cauldron away is my ashes. My ashes are super important to me. So important that I have a jar that I keep my ashes in. Now when this jar starts to get full, and you can tell it's kind of getting there, I like to just sprinkle it in the garden. It's almost like compost anyway. Sprinkle it somewhere in the garden. But it's important because you can actually work with your ashes again. Like when I made my wonderful house blend, I added ashes from previous rituals, from previous things that were magical to me, that meant so much to me. I added the ashes into my little house blend. And so I think it's great to work with your ashes. There's actually a lot of ways that you can work with your ashes, and it's just important to keep them, not just throw them away, but kind of release them back out to Mother Nature if you can. So that's how I work with dry herbs. I also like to work with herbs that I infuse in oils, okay? So I have quite a few oil-infused herb bottles that I'm always working with. So this one right here is my healing blend. It's actually just, I think it's great for any small cuts, abrasions, just small skin ailments. I always like to work with this, like eczema. I like to work with this particular oil right here. I have been working with this particular oil for over a year. When I use it, I add more oil and I kind of let it sit and simmer. And it's summer, well, it's not summer, but it's warm out. So I've got it back outside. In the wintertime, I bring it into my cupboard with all my herbs. And in the warmer weather, I bring it back outside and let the sun and all the moons and all of the energy, all the thunderstorms, everything kind of manifests and works with this oil right here. And it really kind of smells, hold on. Smells really healing. If like anointing. It has an anointing scent to it. So it's funny because this gives me a chance to talk about a new herb that I have here. It's usne. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but I just got it yesterday, and it is a different kind of herb. I'll show it to you. It almost looks like hay. But anyway, it has antimicrobial, antibacterial, those kind of properties, and so I thought that is excellent for my healing oil, right? And so, but I want to incorporate it, and of course, like I said, I've had this batch forever and a day, so I want to add it in, except right now we're under a waning moon, so I don't necessarily want to add it in under a waning moon. Could I? I could. It wouldn't make probably a huge difference. But for me, my intuition is telling me, wait till you have a waxing moon. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen. So I'm going to wait until I have a waxing moon, and then I'm going to add it in. I think it would even be better to add it in under a full moon. Just before a full moon or right at the full moon would be a great time to add it in, because that's just a great time to do it. So yes, this is my healing oil, and I kind of just use this to make balms, to make lotions. I use this to make anything, or I just use it right out the bottle if I feel like, I'm getting a little eczema on the back of my hand. This stuff is amazing. I use it right off the bottle for that. So I have that oil. But I have, again, all of the oils. I've got my love oil that I have been brewing and working with. There is so many herbies in here. And there's even a little, you can't see it, but there's a rose quartz. Oh, maybe you can see it here. There's a rose quartz hanging out in there. This smells, this is without any perfumes or essential oils added to it. And it has such a loving, rosy, floral scent without adding anything to it. So it's been sitting forever and a day. And when I get like a Um, when I get like a Cancer full moon, that's kind of when I go real big and start to, like on a Friday, you know, waxing moon. Anyway, when the day and time and the sign makes sense, I go big and I like do all the things and recharge this oil. But otherwise, it's just kind of sitting out and soaking everything in. And then I have my money oil blend. I love working with this. This smells like coins. I always think it has like a nice coin scent to it. I think it's beautiful. And I love how it looks like a little money bag. Doesn't the jar look like a money bag? It's cute. And then my protection oil. I have, dark this is. Anyway, this is my protection oil. I've made this oil many years ago as well. Yeah, I use it for, you've probably seen me, I'm pretty sure you saw me use it when I made my protection candle video. This is the oil I use. So, those are oils that I like to make for particular properties that I let sit forever in a day. And when I use them, I just, if I need to replenish it, I just add more oil. And that's that. The other thing I like to do is I make intention perfumes. Okay, so this particular oil is a Taurus intention perfume that I've made. It's a big bottle of it, so you can see the herbs for that Taurus moon sitting in there. And I feel like my Taurus moon oils always smell the absolute best. I just love the way they smell. I don't know. They always smell so good. And there's so much beauty that comes with Taurus moons, and that's probably why I like to make perfumes with them the most. But I feel like their blends are always so beautiful when I make them. So that's Taurus. And I do this not for every moon. It depends. I like to do it for a Pisces moon. I like working perfumes for those moons. It just depends on what I'm trying to manifest, if that makes sense. This particular perfume is very potent though, and I like to incorporate herbs, if you can see them in there. I've got jasmine, rose petals, I think hibiscus, and then of course stones. You see the stones kind of going up and down in there. Now, this is a very potent, strong perfume that I made, and this one I made for aligning with love's vibration. So I was really lots of intention when I made this one. This is my absolute favorite love oil. Everybody loves this oil. I've sold a few of them too. I mean, it's really a beautiful, loving scent. I get the most compliments when I wear this particular oil right here. And so yes, I love to make intention perfumes is my big thing right now. I'm like really big on making my intention perfumes in a little more smaller bottle like that, and like incorporating my herbs into it to keep, you know, the herbs and the stones, but keep that energy potent and working and manifesting what my intentions are for it. That's what I like to do. So I think I covered everything. I think that is all the things that I like to do when I work with my herbs. If you have any questions, let me know. And I think I will do more videos. I think I'll do one on that cone, how to make an incense cone, or even maybe how to do my intention perfumes. I've been doing that for years. I've been doing that for a really long time. So I really love making my intention perfumes, and it's just the most magical thing when you make a perfume and a scent that is connected to an entire feeling and a magical property, just calling all of that energy in and then casting it out, if that's what you're looking to do. It's beautiful. Anyway, so let me know if you have any questions about this video, or if you have any other video suggestions. I forget who even suggested this video. I'm sorry I didn't look your name up. I should have, but I will, once I post this video, let you know that it is up so you can see it. All right. Otherwise, you guys have a good day. I will talk to you later. Bye.